Bombshell in the Ken Ofori-Atta case. Ghana's former finance minister's legal woes are worse than the public thought. Aside the ongoing corruption case that led to Ghana seeking extradition from the US, Ken Ofori-Atta is undergoing another investigation that involves offshore accounts. And the second investigation is what triggered the US government to revoke his US visa in mid-2025. He was expected to self-deport from the US by the end of November 2025. His failure to self-deport is what led to ICE arresting him on Tuesday, January 7th, 2026. That is the picture as it stands right now. And I'll paint it bigger for you to understand. My name is Senebi Tony. I'm a Ghanaian writer who lives in the US. On this channel, I talk about geopolitics from the perspective of an African. And so if that's something you are into, subscribe to this channel. Now, like I've said in my previous videos, what I'm trying to do on this channel is provide you with the facts and information of the issues and then provide my analysis of the facts and information. I do not give you my opinion on the case. I don't give you my feelings about the people involved. I just give you the facts and my analysis of the facts, period. Because I want us to create a culture where we have unbiased analysis of issues, and then you, the viewer, will decide how to feel about the issue. So now I'm going to give you my analysis of the facts as they are right now, and then you would form your views on it. Now, let's get right into it. So today, on Saturday, the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayene, and his Deputy Justice, Sram Sai, were both out doing press on television in Ghana. The Attorney General was on Joy FM's news file, and the Deputy Attorney General was on TV3. And both of them shared information about Ken Ofori-Atta's situation. And let me point, the reason why in my introduction I said mid-2025 is because the Attorney General said Ken Ofori-Atta's visa was revoked in July 2025. His deputy said his visa was revoked in June 2025. However, both are around mid-2025. And July, June, slip of tongue. I don't know which of them did the slip of tongue, so I'm going to say mid-2025 just because both of them provided varying information. Like I said, I like to stick to the facts. Now, and the Attorney General said the reason why Ken Ofori-Atta's visa was revoked was because of an investigation he started when he took office as Attorney General in January 2025. And in his investigation found out that Ken Ofori-Atta's finances involve some offshore accounts. Now, having an offshore account is not a crime. Different bodies have offshore accounts. An offshore account is simply an account that is not in the home country of the person who has the account. How you doing? So, me being a Ghanaian, I live in the US. If I have an account in Ghana in the US, it is just a bank account. But if I had an account in Ireland, that would be an offshore account. And I specifically mentioned Ireland because a lot of businesses like Apple and Google have offshore accounts in Ireland specifically because of the tax system in Ireland. So different people have different reasons for having offshore accounts. A lot of like oil companies have offshore accounts in Switzerland because Switzerland have favorable terms for companies that deal in commodity. You understand? Good. So, not a crime. However, there is something called politically exposed person. A politically exposed person is a person whose job involves holding a sensitive political position that would make him use public funds. So like the finance minister of Ghana, his job involves handling Ghana's public purse. Such a person, if they have an offshore account, it automatically raises red flags automatically. I don't know if you guys remember, but there's the Panama Papers that came out in 2016. It came out that the Prime Minister of the Great Britain at the time, David Cameron, had offshore accounts. And that was a big scandal because why do you have offshore accounts? What are you hiding from the public? You understand? So there is not a crime offshore account, being a politically exposed person, red flag. So that alone could have triggered investigation. But that is not what happened in the Ken Ofori-Atta situation. What has happened is, according to the Attorney General, there is some evidence of potential crimes involving Ken Ofori-Atta and his offshore account, which means that there is potential that he's using those accounts to hide some nefarious things he has done. It can be money laundering or corruption. But Attorney General said it would be a bombshell. He didn't say what it was. So money laundering or corruption, yeah, those are big issues. Now, according to the Attorney General, the investigation came to involve elements of some international bodies. So when you are investigating somebody and the person's dealings is more than Ghana, you have to involve the country where the person's dealings are. And so that is how the US came to be involved in the matter. So either the Attorney General provided the US with enough information to suspect Ken Ofori-Atta of criminal activity, or the US themselves uncovered information enough to suspect Ken Ofori-Atta of some criminal activity. Like I've said in one of my previous videos on this matter, I said when a person's presence in the US will cause adverse foreign policy consequence, that is grounds for removing you from the US. So Ken Ofori-Atta's situation is enough grounds for the US to revoke his, his visa. And now, again, revocation of visa is not proof of crime. It is proof of potential crime because you have to go to court to answer for your crime. So we have not even gotten to those crimes yet. What we are dealing now with is the visa itself. When his visa was revoked, he was given the option to self-deport by November 2025. Now, when your visa is revoked, there are several things you can do, right? One of the things is you can let ICE arrest you and deport you, or you can self-deport, or you can find another way to legally stay in the US. And Ken Ofori-Atta took option 3. Option 3 is he now started seeking adjustment of status. The Attorney General didn't say this. I'm saying this based on other sources. He chose to, instead of self-deporting, even though he was given to November to self-deport, he chose to seek green card to enable him to stay in the US legally. And that triggered a red flag. You know why? His visa was not revoked for no reason. It was revoked for a criminal reason. And so let's say somebody is in your house and they stole your meat, and your friend is saying, you ask them to leave your house, and your daughter brings them back. How will you feel? The reason why I'm using this particular example is because of this. Your visa, like I said in my previous videos, is handled by the State Department. But, what was the name? Adjustment of status is handled by the Homeland Security. So, here is my story of the case again. I am about 70% sure that Homeland Security, who handles the, what was the name? The green card situation, was previously unaware of Ken Ofori-Atta's criminal reason for the visa revocation. And so they probably were in the process of handling the green card situation. But while you are in the process of handling your green card situation, they have to investigate you, the person. And that is probably what triggered that Homeland State Department have an issue with Ken Ofori-Atta. And so that is why I picked him up on January 7th, 2025. According to the Attorney General, They were expected to pick him up on January 4th, 2020, no, 2026. On January 4th, 2026, and they waited for a few days before doing it. I've dealt with the police in the US sometime. I've never been arrested by the police. It has to do with other things. I've noticed that when the US police give you a deadline, usually they give you a day or two to get your affairs in order before they come and handle you. In as much as we think of white people or Americans being very prompt on time, they are also human beings. So usually they are liberal. And another thing that is even important here, Ken Ofori-Atta has very good lawyers. So probably they, negotiated this in the proper way for him. But another thing that I have to share with you here. Ken Ofori-Atta is expected to appear before court on January 20th, 2026 in relation to his visa situation. And like, if you don't know, he has to go to immigration court. If he loses in immigration court, he has the option to appeal to the district court. If he loses in the district court, he has the option to appeal to the circuit court. And if he loses in the circuit court, he has the option to appeal to the Supreme Court. So Ken Ofori-Atta is not coming to Ghana tomorrow. I know whenever I say that, people in my comments are like, I'm trying to support him. No. I'm just telling you the reality. He's not coming to Ghana tomorrow. He probably would be eventually deported to Ghana. But that will not happen this month. Maybe, if Ghana is lucky, he probably will happen in February or March. But it could go on to the end of the year. Let's be realistic. Realistically, it will go on to the end of the year. It could. So, those of you who are waiting to go and meet Ken Ofori-Atta at at the airport, whether to support him or to laugh at him, this is not the month you do that. So carry on with your life. When there is more information, you would do more. You understand? I just wanted to explain to people the reality on the ground without being, just saying my view. That is unsubstantiated. All right? So that is where we are right now. When more and more information come, I would keep you all updated. And on the 20th, when he goes to court, obviously, ICE will present their case to the court, and then that would give me more information to share with you. As it stands right now, I'm also pursuing other sources to get more information on the investigation that is happening with the Attorney General. If it yields results, I will share them with you. But if it doesn't, don't keep waiting. But subscribe to my channel if you like how I present my analysis. All right? Thank you.